Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This is another of my fictional short stories. This one is called At the Buffet. I don't want a relationship, but I was feeling lonely, so I decided to take myself to my favorite treat restaurant, an Asian fusion buffet, and sit opposite some interesting-looking woman who's eating alone. I asked if I could sit, she nodded, and I went to get food. I didn't want to be embarrassed, so I only got a modest plateful, and mainly healthy stuff. I remained silent. Women, if they're going to like you at all, tend to go slowly. Maybe it gives them space to think about what you might be like and maybe think positive. After I ate a piece of cheese-stuffed wonton, I said, I know it's not healthy, but... And I continued with the brilliant, I like this place. You? She nodded. I continued my puerility. With the senior discount, it's reasonable for what you get. Of course, I'm sure the fish isn't exactly gourmet. That got a smile, a small smile. I didn't want to suck all the energy from the conversation. What conversation? But anyway, I stayed quiet for a minute and she said nothing. I figured I had picked the wrong woman, but tried once more with a more personal foray. Want to tell me something about yourself? I expected her to say something that's expected, like her name or the town she lives in, but she said, I don't know. And she turned the attention away from herself with, you aren't eating much. That gave me permission to admit that I did that to avoid feeling embarrassed. She said, go eat. I got a fuller plate, including a chicken skewer, ginger fish, lychee, and, macaroni salad. She said, that's better. But she went silent again, so if I was going to have a conversation, I figured I needed to try yet again. Many women like to talk about family, so I asked, do you have family that lives with you? Even though I don't want a relationship, I found myself glad when she said she lives alone. I'm a widow, she said. You want to tell me about your husband? All she said was, he worked a lot. Uh-oh, so do I, but I didn't want to admit it. That would be a conversation closer, so I switched topic. I asked, well, what do you like to do other than eat at buffets? She said, well, I'm writing my memoir. Any anecdote you'd like to tell me? Well, my great-great-grandfather was an indentured servant, building the California railroads, backbreaking, and when he finished his contract, they shipped him back to China, where he lived until his son got into Caltech and brought him here. It was easy to find common ground because I am a writer, and I told her that. What do you write about? She asked. Well, anything and everything. I'm compelled to self-express. Light stories, dark stories, how to. She said, well, dark sounds interesting. Tell me a dark story. So I told her about an Asian nuclear engineering professor who, when turned down for tenure, irradiated $1,000 in dimes and slipped them under the doors of attendees at a DEI conference. She said, I need to go. I said, no dessert? And she strode off without a word. In any event, that's At the Buffet. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And certainly would welcome you taking a look at any of my 36 books, including the most recent, which is Favorites, my best short stories and articles. In any event, thanks for watching. I'm Marty Nemko.